This is Radio Taiwan International.
Welcome to the news on Radio Taiwan International. I'm Phil Eskowski coming to you from Taipei, Taiwan. We begin with a look at today's top stories for Thursday, July 9th. U.S. Senator Duckworth meets with the Taiwan Ocean Affairs Council on national security issues. TSMC plans to distribute dividends in US dollars, and the Foreign Ministry welcomes the European Parliament adoption of a recommendation on the changing geopolitical situation in East Asia. But first, today's top story. United States Senator Tammy Duckworth met with Taiwan's Ocean Affairs Council chairperson Guang Biling this Wednesday. Duckworth said expanding the role of Taiwan's Coast Guard administration is crucial to countering authoritarian expansion and is a peaceful form of defense that does not seek to provoke war. Duckworth's closed-door meeting with Guang included discussions surrounding unmanned vehicle collaboration, Indo-Pacific maritime security, coordinated Coast Guard administration operation, and defense technology cooperation. The U.S. Senator cited the Philippines as an example, explaining its recent efforts to build a helicopter fleet and expand Coast Guard personnel to enhance control over surrounding waters. Duckworth said the expanding role of the Coast Guard administration is crucial for resisting authoritarian expansion. She clarified that using the Coast Guard declares to the outside world Taiwan's firm commitment to protecting its waters and its peaceful form of defense that does not seek to provoke war. Guan said the Coast Guard administration is shifting its strategy to address challenges. Faced with continued gray area coercion from authoritarian states, she said the international community needs to establish a clear common disclosure and defense direction to form a common front to defend the free and open Indo-Pacific waters. According to an Ocean Affairs Council press release, Duckworth's delegation to Taiwan arrived this Monday, met with President Lai Ching-te this Tuesday, and attended the International Ocean Forum on Wednesday. At the forum, Duckworth spoke with the British Member of Parliament Tom Tugendhat. The two politicians claimed that China is using its Coast Guard, enforcement, and overseas police outposts as a cover to attempt to establish a quote-unquote new normal in the waters east of Taiwan and in South China Sea. The two say the actions violate current maritime law. Drawing from lessons learned as a result of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Duckworth urged Taiwan not to rely solely on allies or foreign arms sales, but to accelerate the development of its domestic manufacturing capabilities for drones and unmanned systems to secure its defense resources. Central Bank of Taiwan Governor Yang Jinlong said on Thursday, July 9th, during a legislative session that allowing dividends to foreign investors in US dollars will help reduce exchange rate volatility for TSMC, which has 70% foreign ownership. The statement followed the Financial Supervisory Commission announcement that listed companies can pay dividends in currencies other than New Taiwan dollar. Financial Supervisory Commission's decision aims to continue promoting the internalization of Taiwan's capital market and to provide a friendly investment environment for foreign investors. It is expected to take effect in the third quarter of the year. The New Taiwan dollar recently fell below 32.1 NT dollars, around $1 US, influenced by the strong US economy and capital outflows from Asian markets. The decline has prompted several legislators to raise concerns about its impact on Taiwanese industries. Yang acknowledged legislators' concerns, but noted that for export-oriented manufacturers, a weaker New Taiwan dollar can help balance supply and demand. He added that the outflow of foreign capital, rather than high U.S. interest rates, primarily affects the distribution of more than $3.1 billion in dividends by listed companies in July. The Foreign Ministry on Thursday expressed its welcome and gratitude for the European Parliament's continued concrete expression of support for Taiwan. The body recently passed a policy recommendation for various U.S. bodies and representatives on the changing geopolitical situation in East Asia and the need for closer cooperation with like-minded partners in the region. The document was passed in a single reading on July 7th, with over 80% of European Parliament lawmakers in support. It states that Taiwan is a reliable and crucial domestic partner for the EU in the East Asia region, and the peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait and the South China Sea are not only of major strategic importance to the EU, but also have significant implications for global security and prosperity. The document also supports Taiwan's meaningful participation in international organizations and technical forums, respects freedom of navigation and overflight in the Taiwan Strait and the South China Sea, and encourages the European Parliament and Taiwan's legislature to continue engaging in parliamentary diplomacy. The National Taiwan University Hospital Jinshan branch began construction a long-term care facility this Thursday, holding a groundbreaking ceremony presided by President Lai Ching-te. Lai noted that Taiwan's population aged 65 and over now exceeds 20%, officially marking its transition to a super-age society. Since taking office, Lai has promoted a Healthy Taiwan initiative and a 5-year Healthy Taiwan Deep Cultivation Plan. The initiatives aim to improve working conditions for medical personnel, cultivate diverse talent, integrate smart medical technology, and promote socially responsible, sustainable medicine. Long-Term Care Plan 3.0 is the government's project to address the increasing pressures and workforce challenges associated with elderly care. Lai said achieving the goals requires more than policies or hospital construction, emphasizing the importance of implementation. He said he hopes medical centers, regional hospitals, local clinics, and primary care clinics will collaborate to promote the Long-Term Care Plan 3.0 to increase the number of service points and strengthen service quality. Lai said,
I hope to connect homes, communities, hospitals and clinics, hospital discharge preparations and long-term care services, or the connections between clinics and regional hospitals should all be integrated. This is the concrete content of the Long-Term Care Plan 3.0.
The president thanked New Taipei City Mayor Hou Yo-yi for promoting the long-term care policy, noting that the numbers of centers providing the care in the city has increased from 60 in 2016 to 1,887 this year, a 31-fold increase. Taiwan Premier Zhou Rongtai on Thursday ordered a sweeping recall of cooking oil products linked to Central Union Oil Corporation after tests found excessive levels of a Group 1 carcinogen as the food safety crisis continues to widen. The cabinet said all oil products produced by the company between April and June, along with related downstream goods, must be removed from the shelves as a precaution. The Food and Drug Administration reported 401 affected items as of Wednesday, July 8th, with additional batches from April and May confirmed to exceed safety limits. Premier Zhou also directed central and local governments to assist consumers in filing class action lawsuits. Cabinet spokesperson Michelle Lee said,
Based on the Act governing food safety and sanitation, both central and local governments have mechanisms to assist consumers in filing group litigation. At this moment, they must work together to help consumers and connect them with consumer protection groups to safeguard their rights.
Officials said litigation costs would be covered by the Health Ministry's Food Safety Fund, while retailers were urged to accept returns broadly and quickly with proof of purchase. The Danjiang Bridge may limit speeds or close with Typhoon Bavi approaching.
Typhoon Bavi is set to make its closest approach to Taiwan on Friday and Saturday, bringing the first major storm test for the newly opened Danjiang Bridge. Officials say strong winds could trigger traffic controls. The Transport Ministry's Highway Bureau estimates average wind speeds may reach level 8 by midday on Friday and rise to level 10 by evening. If thresholds are met, speed limits will be reduced or sections of the bridge could be closed. At level 10, authorities warn that the bridge could be fully closed. Spanning the Danshui River estuary, the Danjiang Bridge sits in an open, wind-exposed location. Engineers accounted for wind conditions from the start, designing the structure to withstand level 17 winds. Fu Zhongling, adjunct assistant professor at Tamkang University's Wind Engineering Research Center, said,
On a cable-stayed bridge like this, once the design process begins, they first run wind tunnels tests to see whether the vibration of the current cross-section will be significant. The outer edge of the Danjiang Bridge deck is definitely not flat like this. It has a streamlined design so it won't generate excessive vibration. The bridge towers are also designed to be very streamlined, so the force of the wind on the towers themselves is reduced a little. Even features like these light poles can experience severe vibration in strong winds, so a device similar to a damper is installed at the end to reduce that vibration.
From streamlined bridge towers to dampers installed on cables and lighting poles, every detail aims to reduce vibration and improve stability. As Typhoon Bavi approaches, the bridge's wind-resistant design is about to face its first real-world challenge. Eloise Phillips for RTI News.
Thank you for joining me for the news. I'm Phil Laskowski. Stay tuned for another 50 minutes of English language features brought to you by Radio Taiwan International.